It'll be okay, I promise. All right, as we settle in, everybody's been given a strap for today's class. I thought the vibe for today just felt a little bit more gentle and easy, so that's where we're sticking today. Welcome to Yoga again. You can go ahead and find a position of ease as we start today's class. So find that crisscross applesauce or maybe seated position on your shins. Close your eyes and then give your shoulders a couple of rolls up into the ears and back. Palms grounded down on your knees as you do so, opening the chest and just allowing for a little bit of relaxation. Take a deep breath, roll one more time, and as you exhale, allow the shoulders to melt down the back as you lift your head, as if there's an imaginary string tied to the crown, tugging up ever so gently. Deep breath in through the nose, and as you exhale, allow relaxation to flow down your body. Exhale through the mouth a couple of times. Allow the belly to let go. That space between your eyebrows, allow it to soften, melt. Release any tension in your jaw. Check in with your pelvic floor. Just use these first couple of moments to settle into the present moment, you, your body, and your breath. Slow everything down a little bit more. Taking that exhale out through the nose now. A little constriction in the back of the throat to send that breath back through the body with intention. Your inhales are slow and deliberate, filling your belly, your rib cage, and then your chest with as much air as you can possibly consume, holding at the top for a couple of counts before slowly releasing a tiny bit of air at a time, until your belly becomes empty once more. With your next inhale, I invite you to take your hands out to your sides, palms facing up, and then inhale, lift them up over your head. Exhale, right hand to left knee, look over the back shoulder. Inhale, back to center. And exhale to the other side. We're going to flow through that sequence a couple of more times, just bringing a little bit more warmth to the spine, moving with your breath. Notice any sensation that arises in the body as you twist, as you release those tense muscles. Inhale, center. And then as you exhale to this other side, go ahead and hold. Lifting through the crown of the head. Trying to come a little bit deeper into that stretch. And then inhale back to center. And exhale over to the other side. Same thing. Little hold. Lift through the crown of the head. Keep your sit bones connected to your mat. It's almost like you're trying to wring out your spine. Inhale back to center, lift the hands. And as you exhale, the left hand comes down to the mat. Slowly reaching the right fingertips to the side of the room. Sit bones stay connected. And as you do so, you can gently collapse that forearm if that's available to you. If not, it's perfectly fine to stay here or use a block under that hand. Either way, peel the shoulder blade open. Stacked shoulders, open chest. Reaching with those fingertips so that you have that deep stretch for the side of your body. And then slowly come up off that bottom hand. Right hand connects to the earth as we reach those left fingertips over. Open the shoulder. We reach. Feel that stretch run down the left side body. Continuing to breathe. To reflect on any sensation that comes up, staying fully present with all 5 senses. We're going to slowly lift up and then roll up over the knees. We're going to find child's pose here, so taking the knees wide, the big toes together. Sink your tailbone onto your heels as you reach your fingertips to the front of your mat. Nice and active. You should feel a deep stretch in your armpits. Your forehead connects to the mat, maybe taking a little rock back and forth. And remembering that even if you cannot sink the tailbone fully onto the heels, that's fine. You simply keep the intention there. Send your breath into your hips, into your back. Allow yourself to sink, to melt. Slowly walk your hands back toward the body and bring your knees together. Taking the weight up and your toes down, we're going to slowly walk the torso up, taking the hands to the tops of the thighs while we allow the toes to remain connected into the earth. Sit up nice and tall first. Feel that stretch intensify. We're giving the feet a little bit of love. They carry us through from place to place each day. They need a little bit of a stretch as well. If this isn't intense enough, you can take your lean a little bit farther back. Whatever's available to you today. Take a couple of slow, deep inhales in. And one more. And then slowly walk the hands back. Coming into that all fours position, taking the knees apart from each other. Allow the toes to remain connected for just a moment. Stretch your heart out in front of you. Pick the knees up and press your heart towards your upper thighs. Downward facing dog. We reach the tailbone up and allow the heels to just sort of melt down towards the earth. Some deep intentional breaths here. And then as you inhale, go ahead and pick the left heel up towards the sky, keeping that hip closed by keeping the pinky toe rotated down. And then go ahead and pull it through between the hands, stepping the back foot in. we're going to straighten the front leg and lift the heart. So stretch through the back of that leg, trying to square the hips. We lift the heart out towards the big toe. And as you exhale, we try to bring the heart a little bit more parallel with the ground. Big stretch through the back of that leg. Inhale, we lift up through the torso, stepping the back foot in together. We're going to lift the hands up overhead. And exhale, swan dive down. Keeping that left foot planted, we're going to step the right foot back into a low lunge. Hands to frame the foot right now. Little rock back and forth, warming up that hip. And then we're going to go ahead and release that shin down, walking the torso up. Very gentle. We're going to lift through that torso, and then slowly we're going to find that 90-degree angle in the front of the leg as we focus on tilting that tailbone back, that pelvis back, so you feel a big, deep stretch through the front of that hip flexor. Again, everything today is just nice and slow, finding our stability and balance, focused on positioning the body and really feeling those stretches where we should be feeling them. Breathe. Slowly we're going to take the hands down, press that toe into the earth, press up, and then take the foot in ever so slightly and lift into a high lunge. So both toes are facing forward. You can find a tiny slight bend in that back knee if that feels good. Again, keeping that stretch on the front of the hip. Hips are squared towards me. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to take that back foot parallel with the short edge of the mat and open into a warrior two. So your torso's fully rotated towards the side of the room. You're finding a nice 90-degree angle or somewhere getting to that direction in the front leg. Your gaze is the only thing over those front fingertips. Inhale, we're gonna slightly come up off that back or that front leg, lifting up. And exhale, you're gonna sink down. So it's not about sinking forward, it's about sinking down like you're on a carousel, lifting up on your inhale, and then exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, we rise. Exhale. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, sink. Holding here. Check your positioning. And then taking that back toe, we're going to pivot it back to the front of the room into a high lunge. And then exhale, hands come down to meet the foot. We're going to step back into a downward facing dog. Feel the difference from one side to another. Inch that tailbone towards the sky. Allow the heels to relax. Breathe. And then we're going to go ahead and pick up the right heel. Pinky toe squared down. And pull it through between the hands in a low lunge. Little rock back and forth here. Finding a little bit of warmth. then go ahead and release that left shin down. Slowly walking the hands up and the torso fully upright. Again, it's going to be about slowly pressing forward, keeping that 90-degree angle on the front of the leg so you feel that stretch on the front of the hip flexor. Your hips are squared, you're not twisted. You're lifting through the crown of that head. And the stretch is coming from tilting the pelvis and sinking down. Get into your breath. Feel it in your hips. This area of the body that needs your attention so much more often than we tend to give it to it. Release. With every exhale, a little bit more tension. Slowly, we're going to go ahead and take the hands back down to frame the foot. Once again, the left toe plants down. We're going to lift into a low lunge. Stepping that foot halfway in. We're going to inhale. We're going to reach up and then sink into our high lunge. So hips are squared. Slight bend in that back leg if that's available to you. Breathing into the front of that hip. Deep breath in. And then as we exhale, we're going to open that up into a warrior two. So the back foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat. Our torso's fully rotated, shoulders relaxed, gaze over the front fingertips. It's a strong pose. As we inhale, we rise slightly up off that front leg and exhale, sink down without sinking forward. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more times to the beat of your own breath. Check in with your form. Torso rotated. Gaze over the front fingertips. Breathe. And then we're going to go ahead and come back down, stepping back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, the left heel reaches up towards the sky, closed hips. And then we're going to pull that knee through to the front of the mat, right at the center, and allow the back leg to fully relax. The hips square down as we breathe into the side of the left hip. You can stay fully raised, or you can be supported with 2 blocks under your hands if that makes this a little bit easier, more accessible. You can also make this more challenging on the side of your hip by trying to take that leg a little bit closer to parallel with the mat while still keeping your hips squared down. That's not available to me, so it's not going to be something I'm going to be demonstrating today. But it's perfectly fine to keep that knee center. As you feel ready and led, you can even sink it down, but it's not necessary. Your heart aims at that knee. Breathe and relax. Slowly take your hands back beneath your shoulders if they're not already, lifting the torso. And then that back toe's gonna dig into the mat as you gently press back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, the right heel lifts up towards the sky, close hips, and then pulls through between the hands. Once again, right to the center of that mat as that back leg and the top of that back foot sink down. We lift through the torso, focusing that stretch on the outside of this hip flexor. Hips stay squared, we're not rolling open. And as you feel ready and led, you can intensify the stretch by taking that foot and taking it closer to a 90-degree angle, or you can sink it down. Your heart aiming at that knee. Whatever is accessible to you today. As you feel ready and led, you can take your hands beneath your shoulders and press the torso back up if you're not there already. Digging the left toe into the mat and then stepping back to downward facing dog. Slowly bend at the knees until your knees meet the mat and grab your strap. Lifting the torso up, we're gonna shift the knees out from under us and come to lay on our backs, holding our strap. Knees up in the air, back fully released. You're gonna unroll your strap. And we're gonna go ahead and start with the left leg, pulling that knee in towards the body. We're gonna take the strap right to the center of the arch of the foot, rolling the strap on our hands for a little bit of extra leverage. And will you keep a bend in that knee, a slight bend or a deeper bend if this is too much, too intense? You're going to allow that foot to aim at the sky and slowly use the strap to pull into the body. It doesn't have to be intense. In fact, I don't want it to be a forced stretch. But even with a gentle stretch, you might feel a little bit of a shake coming through the back of the leg. Trapped energy, tension, tightness. I invite you to tune in to that feeling. This shouldn't be painful. Just a bit uncomfortable. Then taking both sides of the strap in your right hand, or both hands if that feels better, You're going to bend at that knee even deeper and allow the hip to open. So it'll open up towards the side. Should feel a stretch in the inner thigh. It's like a half happy baby. As you feel ready, go ahead and pull back to center. Bending at the knee, releasing that strap, and then allow that foot to just collapse straight. Give it a little shake back and forth so you're rocking on that heel. Deep breath in. And then you can go ahead and pull that foot back, closed, knee up towards the sky. We're going to repeat on the other side, so give yourself a nice length of strap between your two hands. Pull the knee in. Bring it to the arch. Remember to keep that slight or deeper bend on your knee the entire time. And breathe. Send your breath to the back of that leg. Again, notice sensation. I saw a lot of shaking happening on my left side, not as much happening here. And my job is not to analyze, my job is just to notice right now. As you wish, you can slowly intensify the stretch, but keep in mind it's not about forcing it, pulling as hard as you can. Just paying attention to what the body is saying to you. And if you feel like you need a little bit of extra, you can bring it in a millimeter or two. Go ahead and transfer both straps to your left hand, allowing that knee to bend even deeper and allowing that leg to fall out to the side in a half happy baby. If it helps to hold the strap in both hands, feel free to do so. Creates a nice little hammock. One more deep breath in this position, all the way down into your belly, your pelvic floor. Fill the body with the breath. Exhale, relax. And then slowly, using both hands, bring that foot back to center, a little pull in, bend at the knee. Set your strap down at your side and allow that leg to go straight. Rock on that heel back and forth a couple of times and then let it relax. Allow the left foot to extend out and meet it. And then allow your arms to collapse down at your sides, inching your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and as you exhale, allow the body to grow heavy. Sink into the mat below you, and spend a few final moments here in Shavasana. Take one last deep inhale in through your nose and send it all the way down into your smallest toe. And as you exhale, allow for one more moment of relaxation to flood your body. And at the same time, ask yourself, what do I need today? Let an answer land on your heart or your mind without judging it, analyzing it. Let it be there. And with this final acknowledgement, I invite you to begin to awaken your body. Give a little wiggle to your fingers and your toes. If you'd like to take a big stretch in each direction, feel free. And in your own time, you can make your way onto your side and gently make your way into a seated position, or begin to pack up your stations. Thank you for joining us today. It's been my pleasure to lead you through a little bit of a slower flow, and I appreciate your presence with yourselves in each moment of this session. I'll send you back into this slightly windy but still beautiful day with one final